It's the Law. We're talking private property and traffic violations, and here to explain your rights when it comes to driving is our legal expert, Jay Davis. Okay, so we thought of this question today in the newsroom. We were having a little discussion about it. If you're the owner of private property that has a grocery store or store, any kind of business on it, are you required to put up stop signs and road signs? Why or why not?
Well, you're not required to put up any kind of stop signs on your private property, almost period. If there's something for handicap or something that's required by the state, you do. But stop signs are really the domain of the state or the county and the police department, that type of thing.
So then why do some areas have them? For instance, Beaconsfield comes to mind for me. They've got the Kroger. There's a stop sign in there. So why do they have it?
Well, they're doing them for convenience, to give some sort of instruction to their patrons of what to do and where to go. And they're not necessarily going to be an exclusive right. Like if somebody runs a stop sign and hits somebody else's car, that doesn't mean that they're all automatically going to be at fault like they would be probably on a roadway.
Okay, so the rules are a little bit different when it comes to private property. But I do believe Georgia law says that a police officer can ticket you if you run a stop sign. Is that correct on private property?
A police officer can ticket you like you can make a suit. We always say you can sue for anything here.
Okay.
But whether or not that ticket is going to hold is going to be, you're going to analyze that. And typically there are rules. The reason we normally use stop signs and roadway signs, red lights and that type of stuff, they're gauged by certain roads, where they're supposed to be put, where you can see them.
Okay.
And when they're put by private owners, you can't necessarily be sure that they're put in that place. And because of that, you're more able to contest whether or not that was a valid stop sign, whether or not it was located correctly, and those types of things. And my opinion on private property is very questionable as to whether or not a court would hold that as true.
So you might just get away with it if you run a stop sign on private property?
Well, I mean, there are places like Lake Wildwood, for example, that are totally private. They're not the domain where everybody can just go if they want to, because you have to have certain sort of access rights. And the police officers ticketing that area, you probably are not going to hold up. I don't believe that they'll hold up.
All right, Jay, interesting to hear what the law is on that, and you answered a lot of questions for the newsroom today.
Oh, don't forget about that little turn left. You can turn left on that.
Oh, that's right. We wanted to double check that with Georgia law. Can you turn left?
You can turn left on a one-way. You're going down a one-way and you're turning left to go in traffic that goes to your left. You can make the left turn the same as a right turn after you've stopped, after you've given way to any kind of pedestrians or anything like that.
Well, now I know who to call if I get in trouble for it, right?
There you go.
All right. And remember, if you've got a legal question for Jay, send me an email to aminelli@41nbc.com. When we come back, another look at that forecast with Chris. Stay with us.